TV cast or whatever. But it's like
Yeah.
when I first started playing Dota, my only goal was like to get competitive / good in it.
Yeah.
Like that was like all I cared about. So
I never had that drive in Dota.
Yeah.
Like I had that drive in Call of Duty. Like I really drove myself in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it came to Dota was actually, it was never a competitive game for me.
have you seen the new COD? It just looks so confusing. There's just like jetpacks and like dudes in laser suits and stuff.
Do you actually want me to give you the COD rant?
No, it's so good.
Okay.
It looks like I was watching Chobra play it on his stream, and I was like, I remember playing COD in college with my roommates, like on the Xbox and stuff, and we had a lot of fun. And I was like, this is not the same looking game.
It's
10 seconds.
it's console fun.
Yeah.
It really is console fun, but there's no way it's
5
competitive.
seconds remaining.
I say that when MLG have built an entire industry around
Team
competitive
Empire's
Call of Duty,
turn to
but yeah.
LGD's turn.
If you actually want to see the classic Call of Duties, like they were amazing.
Yeah.
You can't buy them anymore; they're not available. But if you get like the vanilla COD, the original Call of Duty, and the United Offensive games, they actually copied like proper battles. Like they took it from the army logs, like the full reports, and copied it like bit for bit.
So where did these laser suits come from? The jetpacks.
No, they never existed because it was a
10
World War II
seconds
shooter,
remaining.
original Call of Duty.
Can I steal one of these seats from my home?
5 seconds.
You think I could just like take one and nobody will notice?
I'm
Team
fairly certain if you
Empire's
ask
turn
nicely,
to
they'll
pick.
get you your own.
Really?
Yeah, we got crap tons of them around the office.
Nice. Although I bought a chair and its name is Magnarp. That was the IKEA name for it. Magnarp the Great. I was gonna get Cap. Oh, we should. Okay, wait. We should discuss the draft first.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
we'll talk.
yeah,
Okay,
we
okay.
should.
So Spiritbreaker, good pick off potential for Queen of Pain. We saw it quite often. The Bane. This is what we're talking about. Like Bane sets up really nicely for Tiny, independent of the IO, just because. Let's say you're looking for a relocate opportunity. Bane just kind of scouts things out, sleeps first, and then you really could relocate and destroy somebody.
5 seconds
For
remaining.
LGD gaming, we've got the Night Stalker because the vision game is so
Team
important against this
Empire's
combination,
turn to bat.
and the silence also works out quite well against all of these heroes. And the Shadow Shaman is an aggressive hero, which allows them to 5-man, and you can play around a lot of this Empire lineup with it. But the one downside is if you get behind it all with that hero, you're like a 285 move speed hero that doesn't have any items and just gets blown up. I remember it was like Puppy yesterday that was playing it. Remember against Wings?
Wings.
And he was just getting one shot every time.
I just want to say before we finish up the draft here, I disown Ryan.
Okay, good,
just
good.
really ashamed of him for one calling
Empire's
the
turn to pick.
the new Call of Duty enjoyable because it's fast paced and it reminds him of Quake.
Shout out to Ryan and Anuxi.
Like
They know what for.
and Anuxi is wonderful,
Yeah.
but Ryan, for that man, I don't know you. I don't know you anymore.
Morphing.
changed.
Morphing is a hero.
He is.
Yeah.
Old classic hero of Sylar as
Morphing.
well. Like, I don't remember
10
the last time I
seconds
saw him
remaining.
on Morphling. We have seen a couple of Morphling cores
5 seconds remaining.
appearing. I think we saw at least one of them during the group stages.
Reserve time.
Empire. No, they took it. It was against Team YP. That's when I saw it. LGD ran it against YP yesterday.
Okay.
It was a Sylar Morphling. They had a Wind Ranger for maybe. That's what it was. And then they had an Earth Spirit for MMY. That
I'm happy not to have the ES.
yeah.
Like,
The Earth Spirit really hurts.
interested to see how Resolution deals with this now. Like you got a lot of control, you got a lot of charge, you got a lot of damage, but do you have something that can deal with this, like with the Morphling? Because Tiny Pop's combo and Morphling's just strength morphing in the middle of the stun, so he's gonna get a lot of life, and you probably won't be able to find the kill on him. So, do you then look for some more like burst damage of Team Empire?
I think this is kind of okay right now. I'm trying to look at the carries that they need, potentially.
Well, my mind is turning to something like a Lena in the mid.
Yeah, they could go for something in the mid and then safe lane Tiny because they have a Bane as a support.
Yeah.
But you would need something. I'm trying to think right now. I was gonna suggest AM. But there's so many counters. Maybe the Phantom Lancer. Is PL banned?
PL is not banned. He's available. LGD thought it was going to be the Razors. They're still looking towards the mid
Maybe
lane.
you do something YOLO and just pick like Ursa and run at somebody.
You do, like, it's resolution, so Invoker, like, would he be enough control on a Morphling? Like, the roaming around with an Orca gank?
I'd kind of like to see like.
What? Okay.
All right.
Wait,
that
hang on.
is-
Is this a Revorce Spirit Breaker then, or a Revorce Centaur?
No, it's a Savo Centaur. That's what he was playing on Navi before he got EGM'd.
Okay.
What? Why'd you laugh?
It's just the way you do it. Like, before you're like, it's fine, like, it wasn't that brutal kind of thing.
Dude, I get along.
Like, to actually cover up the removal of a Vorce, they disbanded the team and rebanded the team.
I mean, I'm really friendly with all the Alliance people for obvious reasons, and I can tease Jerry all I want because he calls me like a tier 5 caster. So I'm gonna get in my digs while I can.
Well, you're tier 4 now, Cassindarin retired.
Oh shit.
10 seconds remaining.
All right, Xbox 360. Show me what you're about.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm interested to see what it's like too. Can they actually now dual lane the off lane because of this? Are you comfortable enough just running like get a quick level up on the Centaur and let the Centaur go 1-on-1 with the Tusker, who I also assume is the off laner, or is actually Night Stalker going to be their off laner? Because LGD of Shaman's the only true core here. Hang on, who's playing what? I should have a look at that. RTK's Tusker. Okay.
Who's Cap casting with right now, by the way?
Mop packs.
Okay.
Casting with mop packs.
I always used to think that guy was Mott for some reason when I didn't know either of them.
Really?
Because it was just like, I was like, Mott packs. It's like short for Mott. And I was like,
They are definitely two different individuals.
He casted one of my FPL Europe games. Very fun affair. I was against Amo, you know, the player for Navi. Everyone calls him like, what's his name calls him Akmo. But I asked him because he's on my friends list, like, how do you pronounce your name? He's like, it's like Amo. It's pronounced like AXMO.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was mid against him and he was like Puck with the Drow Aura and I was Timbersaw and I went like 0-6 or something like that. It was pretty terrible. I had no idea what was going on. Felt like I was drunk.
Did you ever feel like when you play those games and you have casters watching, like there's more pressure on you?
No. I mean, it's only FPL Europe.
But like when you can potentially have the scrutiny of a caster, like if you had someone like PPD as well as like EE jump in with their good Kappa Studios,
I mean,
and cast your game.
Those guys are gonna flame no matter what, though. Like, it doesn't matter what player it is, even if it's a tier 1 player. Just because Dota players have such wildly different ideas about Dota.
I thought you said the rule was you're not allowed to flame pro players.
I'm not. Pro players just. I mean, it's kind of weird because like pro players are kind of untouchable in the Dota scene.
But you were on a roster. You were on the roster for OG.
Yeah, no, that's wrong.
Oh wait, hang on. Who were you a stand-in
I was
for?
Archon and then I was Stake Gaming or whatever. But it was like, it's a weird situation in Dota because I don't hate any of the players, but whenever I like make individual criticisms, I'm like, oh, he could have played better. I feel like some people take it to heart, especially like the players that I don't know very well.
It is one of those interesting things, like the ability to accept criticism, and then like you try and fire a shot back.
I mean, I'm not about firing shots.
Then it becomes like a question about it, like the integrity of the person, like who was actually right about things doesn't even matter anymore.
I just, you know, I try to phrase things in such a way though that there's going to be no wiggle room that so people don't interpret. Like when I said that was bad by Loda, I meant to say like that was a bad situation for Loda. Like he was, like that didn't end up well for him. You say stuff like that, I'm sure it ends up better.
Polar opposites. Like you look at the CS casters, and
yeah, they just go in.
Yeah, they're like the complete opposite. If you don't flame someone directly and in an insulting manner, you're not a caster.
Yeah, I do think that way is actually in some ways more entertaining, but it's definitely different.
Yeah. The cross between like what do you really tune into the stream for? Respect or entertainment? Why not both?
Alright, so in this mid lane, we can actually go back to casting the game.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. This Queen of Pain harassed out a little bit. Resolution's also going to take some harassment, but we talked about it already. The Queen of Pain does... She's one of the better heroes. Like, I know when people say, oh wait, what about Wind Ranger or something like that? Wind Ranger gets demolished. The Wind Run just does not last long enough. You get chased down, you get tossed back, and then you have no move speed or armor whatsoever to deal with. Like 2 armor or something like that on Wind Ranger is garbage. But Queen of Pain, you know, she's got a ranged attack, and Tiny has notoriously bad armor. He's at 0 already. Even with the stout shield, he tanks quite a bit of damage, and the Queen of Pain can get into right-click fights with the dagger onto the Wisp or the Tiny to make it hard for them. And it's almost nearly impossible to kill her.
And they're really trying to harass that, like, maybe out from range. I was actually wondering then if you'd look for a Aloha Dance. Okay, there's even a toss to cancel off the salve, which was just used on maybe. He's down to one shared tango, which is still on a cooldown timer. But I was actually wondering if it's still worthwhile going for Wisp Balls early on, as opposed to just going for the overcharge onto a Tiny.
You have to at level 2. At level 2, you have to get the overcharge. Otherwise, if you're full HP and the Tiny's missing, your hero kind of... It defeats the purpose of your hero, I feel.
Well, what changed with that then? Because, like I remember No-Tail used to go for, like, that, the 1-1-0 build early on, and actually use the Wisp Balls as an aggressor.
I think it's fine if you're not being harassed or challenged in this lane, but they are being harassed and challenged in this lane. Like, the Tiny's clopping a lot of damage and the Wisp isn't. Like, if the Wisp is full HP, what was the point of getting... Like, you can't help out the Tiny, because the Tiny's gonna notoriously lack out on regen.
But when you're able to secure these runes, which is also quite easy when you have a Wisp, it's never-ending regen coming his way. MMY and Sylar are... Like, Sylar's having a great time for CS-wise on this offlane. Like, even up against Spain. Spain's already... Like, he's got the preparation where he can just go the Nightmare into Hoof Stomp, double-edged Brain Sap.
I think part of the issue is that there's not a whole lot of kill potential on the Morph, even with this lane, because he has Waveform plus Morph up. So what it's probably going to take is the Bane to sleep onto MMY, but MMY should just get boots first. I think MMY should play a little bit greedier and let the Tusk buy the first set of things. I don't know. It's a tricky situation because MMI is the only one that can really die in this lane.
Middle lane. They finally found him. The Wisp Balls came up at level 3. Only 2 of them was like it connected, but Avalanche Toss caught the end of the Queen of Pain falling. Now bottom lane, the Shackles. Really nicely done by MMY. Actually stopping the double edge from Havorst. Funnily enough, with that, it was potential that MMY would have been able to return kill into Havorst, but it still would be losing Sylar.
Yeah, I don't think that's worth it. That's your one position right now.
How's the top lane going? Like, we haven't even looked at that yet.
The Night Stalker can't really... Okay, so the NS has boots already. I guess MMY is going to be the person to sack. I'm just a little bit afraid for him in this offlane. I don't know why I thought Tusk was supporting. I saw Night Stalker and... my brain stopped working.
It's the ROTK Tusker, man. You can't deny him it.
Funnick went insane with his Spear Breaker against Secret, though, yesterday. I think that's why they're so willing to pick it up early. And he's got practice in this matchup, too. Little things like that matter. Like, he played against
Sylar.
Misery in this.
The Hoof Stomp's already going to go. Bane, he can Nightmare over on MMY, which takes off the Shackles from Havorst, but there's no real follow-up. Like, you've got the Brain Sap available, but Havorst didn't want to commit into that double edge.
I don't think that would have gone well for them. Sylar has level 2 waveform. And MMY can just throw out the last fuck you shackle
Charge
or
top.
ether shock.
Whisper's coming in as well, but now Night Stalker TDC there is a perfect time. They're going to snowball forward into Aloha Dance, but Aloha Dance still has this speed, especially when you can get the bash from the Spirit Breaker. Combining it up with the Orb of Venom, they're slowing him down, and there's your charge forward. So Funnick will find the kill. He's going to lose Aloha, but still it's allowing the Spirit Breaker now to crack level 6.
Yeah, the SB level 6. That is a really good trade for them. Losing the Wisp for just the Wisp for the offlane Tuskar. That's going to be a trade that they gladly take. It's the Wisp. I mean, he's going to come back mid now. Heal up Resolution, who is going to do some harassment, but I don't know if they have the damage for this. It looked like he was going to throw the stun, but maybe with the Tusk coming in, doesn't really want to stop this, but the charge is going to come in. He does have the ultimate.
RTK keeps it back. Is there a bash? Maybe. With a blink forward, he'll actually avoid the toss creep.
That was so late.
He needs some time.
Is under attack.
Actually, he doesn't have the mana for it either. The Morphlee's going to find the kill.
That should have been a guaranteed kill. With the Spirit Breaker coming in and connecting with the charge, that should have been a kill for Empire.
It was the Tusker. It was the Snowball. He controlled both the Wisp as well as the Tani, so they couldn't come in for the toss.
It was really well done by LGD. In any other scenario, it's a free kill. It is going to be the bounty rune for ROTK, and they do get the rebuttal kill on the Spirit Breaker and slow him down a little bit. Now they're going to do the Team Secret-esque full lane swap, as Sylar is now going to rotate to this top lane. now that the Tusk has some measure of levels and farm. You don't want this hero to get nothing. And the Morph is still doing okay. He's going to get charged up, but this is more just so that Funnick can get to the lane instantly. Doesn't really do anything for either side.
When's that rotation timing for Empire? Like, LGD switched their lanes up, but Havorst, when he gets the Blink Dagger, where's his primary target? And is anyone even able to take over the lane for him?
It's going to be more of a team effort, I think, once he gets his Blink Dagger. Because when you run dual lanes like this, you're going to get a decent amount of levels no matter what. Like, you've got the Wisp already at level 5. Almost level 6. The Tiny is in a similar situation. The Bane, because he was in a dual lane, is doing pretty well for himself. So you're not really too concerned about levels or anything like that. And you've got to be careful. No, that was the wrong creep to... Okay.
He tethers away. Man, I was watching Tiny as well. I didn't take my eyes off that because both Resolution as well as Aloha Dance dropped below 100 life when they were farming up that camp.
That was scary, Toby.
Fear in the jungle. DDC is still waiting for an opportunity. It's quite big too, the fact that Empire are able to take that. They're going to lose Resolution here. He's got the Avalanche available as well as 7-1 charges, and with a Tuskar ulti, oh, the Sonic Wave, it connects too fast. The Wisp Spirits, they're going to reach RTK, but Aloha Dance, he's got his tether available, but he can't get away from the attacks of LGD, so double kill arriving for Maybe. That's his first 2 kills of the game as well.
And this is going to make things kind of even out for him, at least a little bit. This does put him ahead in net worth over the Morphling. Still behind the Tiny, but that's kind of acceptable considering the kind of start that the Tiny had. But this is what I was talking about, the Queen of Pain, the burst damage from the Sonic Wave. Doesn't matter if you have overcharge whatsoever. He was really hesitant to use it too, though. They thought they were going to be able to get the kill on the Tiny without it. But once he saw the Wisp start to TP, he made the correct decision. It's like, it's better to blow this than allow him to heal 100 HP and then 100 more, and all of a sudden they've got the turnaround potential on us.
An unsuccessful gank, you commit that much, those many resources from LGD. You want to be able to get something out of it.
Yeah.
Not to mention it was the last nighttime gank they had. Oh, hello bottom lane. Relocate's coming in. DDC. Okay. Maybe also arrived, but the Avalanche is going to connect over on the Queen of Pain. She's still got a Blink available, but you go for a 1-for-1 trade off RTK. He may be the second. The shards come back off cooldown, but he doesn't get it. In fact, the bash as well. Well, Funnick was able to connect on that, but maybe back behind the tower. Even with a negative earn charge, it means he doesn't want to stay too close. He has 7-1 charges, so he was never going to die. But the first relocate from Empire ends up being a 2-for-1 trade-off.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Things are going to get kind of a little bit more calm now as Empire doing a lot of damage to this mid tower. Still getting a fair amount of control. It's just that Maybe is doing so well on this Queen of Pain now. And the Ice Shards are going to fly in mid, but shouldn't lead to anything.
Let's just see the lane switch up. They send a Vorse towards the top lane. After that death, he's still short of having his Blink Dagger, but they still rotate him anyway. And No Fear is going to get his Fiend script because of this. So the level 6 is now up for the Bane.
Their support's got unusually fast levels. I guess not unusual because they were dual laning, but compared to most games, this is faster than you'd expect.
Well, it's getting involved. And you're power leveling the Wisp through the jungle with the Tiny, which buys more and more space for the Bane.
Oh, and mid.
Yeah, they go on a Vorse. He's still got the... No, he doesn't.
No, it doesn't matter.
He doesn't have anything.
Maybe is more than willing to expend that ultimate for that kill. That's a huge kill too, especially considering how close he is to the...
That's why I'm not sure, like, why they rotated him off the bottom lane to give that space to the Bane, instead of just ensuring the Blink Dagger.
I think they also want to be off the map when he gets it. I'm not sure. You kind of want to keep people scared, but by showing mid, you're right, it was a little bit of a wonky timing too. Like, I don't think LGD expected to run into him. I think they were hoping to find the Tiny again.
How is that Tiny looking for his net worth? He's sitting at the top by 300 gold. With this... Oh, hello. Top lane. They find Sylar. That relocate up from Aloha Dance. Wasn't really ready for that, and looks like LGD weren't either. Very rare you can ensure that kill over on a Morphling.
But that's the thing, is the burst damage from it is so high, because most Morphlings are going to stay around.
They're going in again. The snowball is going down to Aloha Dance. Resolution's still got the Avalanche and Toss. So with the extra heal, the one charge, they give him so much more, and Maybe's in trouble too. Maybe not the greatest place in the world for the Radiant Courier to fly into, but he'll survive just like Team Empire on very low life.
That was a killing spree that they knocked off of maybe as well. That was a really significant trade for them right there. It allows them to get a lot more control on the map. Because now you have to fear the tiny wisp. They are going to snowball out of control in a game like this. He's already up to 5,300 net worth. The Queen of Pain, he was just like a blink behind him, is now a fairly significant margin. And with the Morphling dead too, it's not like they're killing inconsequential heroes. Like, these are heroes that have a lot of experience on them as well.
If you're a Tiny in this case, like, you're getting a lot of momentum. The Blink Dagger is now on the Centaur. Do you get a blink of your own to keep the pressure up, or do you work towards the Aghanim Scepter? So if you take
I like the
you
Ags.
take the building.
I really like the Ags. I don't think you need a blink when you've got a Centaur and a Spirit Breaker.
Who's going to react first? Divorce blinks over.
Oh, it's a 3-man!
Hoofstomp. They've got support. He's already double edged, but they're going to
where's the relocate?
Divorce needs more time. They Nightmare and protect. Divorce for the moment from No Fear. Here comes your relocation, and the Avalanche, a 3-man Avalanche into the toss as well. And we had double kill coming the way of the IO.
Pavos has the blink again.
Is on the run, but the charge is coming in from the side. Phonic will arrive. There's the boards controlling up. Maybe the relocate's going to end at the last moment, and they're actually going to give the space. Nope, they come down. They ensure the kill over on Maybe. This will allow DDC to escape, but and what a hoofstomp from Divorce.
Xbox 360 just goes in there. Doesn't even care. They made a really he just like blew this game up. He goes for he gets the 3-man stomp off like at the last possible second, and then he finds Maybe in the tree line, and he's like, guys, he's almost certainly motioning them over. So instead of getting a support Night Stalker, instead they get the Queen of Pain and further slow him down. That was insane by him. Plays that fight so well.
Can't believe Navi let him go.
Oh man, that was insane. Stuff like that. Havos just he tore open this game right now for Empire. Like those are the kind of maneuvers that almost just secure you the mid game. And it's so important when you've got a tiny wisp. It's gonna make LGD a lot more gun shy. They're gonna be a lot more afraid to engage, and it's gonna make players like Sylar, he's like, oh well, what happens? We can't really fight them in a 5-on-5 situation, and you don't want to test it is the thing. Like you might think that you can still do it, but
you got so much to lose.
Exactly. And look at the net worth difference now. Like we keep you should make a pretty big deal about net worth, and
top lane.
Nobody's too far. Here's the relocate.
He's
the burst damage
for the heal, but it won't be enough, or will it? You see the life points exceeding up, but the Morphling, a very quick kill, and now Resolution. They just move into the towers. I still find it amusing. It's the Wisp who was the one getting all of these kills. He's 625 over at Aloha Dance, and Resolution wants to go for more. They're coming over with the shards down. LGD might feel a little bit more confidence. RTK snowballs into the Wisp.
Blow this guy up fast.
Oh, the Wisp Spirits, they just did so much damage, and Tiny chasing up to Maybe.
Oh
Blink
no,
is
Maybe's so dead.
3 more seconds. Where's that toss? The Fiend Script from No Fear. They just commit that. DDC can't stop him, and he'll lose his life. In this game, it's not a snowball, it's an avalanche. Rolling over LGD. A triple kill for Resolution.
Havos is going to get out too. They're going to deny the tower, luckily for them, and MMY is going to get the tower at the same time, but it doesn't really matter. They've just gotten so much out of this engagement. This is almost a full Aghanim Scepter completed for the Tiny already. Just take a gander. The Wisp is second in net worth in this game right now. This is how successful this combination has been. Is that he has more net worth than a farming Morphling, a mid Queen of Pain. He's almost got the mech completed. It's so rare that you see a Wisp this farm that has a mech and urn and treads. Oftentimes you can burst him down because he's got like Tranquils and he's like slowly working towards a Glimmer Cape, but a mech Wisp is almost impossible to kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I've tweaked up Blitz's mic, guys, so relax. Don't picnic. And Resolution brings down this tower with an Aghanim Scepter up and already the power.
Dire's middle tower is under
it's like LGD. Like how do you compose yourself at this point? You're not getting a massively farmed up Morphling. When you try and get aggressive like this from DDC, they can see he plants the ward, so that's instantly a D-ward as well. That's probably DDC's death. There's more support rotating over, which the Bane might get caught out by. We'll stick with DDC for now, as now the Stampede goes. Can they finish the job? DDC in the tree line? Yeah, they can. But it's actually back in the middle lane. The Morphling initiating in. They've actually brought down the Tuskar. Resolution
he's
wielding
got
the
an
tree of
axe.
power.
You're not fighting this.
Yeah, Sylar, he triggers the one charge as Resolution. He's got the toss back, or at least the toss up. As Sylar keeps running,
They're gonna go for this.
In they come. They've got Nether Strike available, but they've lost the vision. as Siler gets bumped up onto the high ground. But does it even matter? Like, you've got the Ag, so you just take out the building. You've already opened up the space by funding the 2 kills.
Empire's being surgical right now. They're just taking out the knees of LGD. There's not a whole lot that they can do in a situation like this except run away. It's a dire sign indeed when a Bane is just like sleeping somebody and you have to TP out immediately. You're not even going to take that fight 3-on-1 because you know the presence of the Tiny Wisp is a little bit too much. And it doesn't seem like there's going to be much that LGD can do to get back into this game just because of the sheer net worth difference. I know we said that in the game with Alliance, but that was a completely different situation. Like, Alliance were about to come on...
one, of course, right?
Yeah, exactly. They were about to come onto a lot of different items, and they had the lineup for it. In this lineup, Empire, they've got tons of initiation, a lot of physical damage, lots of magic burst nuke. They're going to go for the Roshan, which is the correct trade.
Well, it's the only way they can really try and come back, but look at Empire. Havors is already moving
leading
over.
the charge. He's done so much for this team already. They're going to get this tower.
They're taking too long.
They don't have the items anymore for this.
They really don't, and they're all grouped up. If Havors gets himself a Hoof Stomp, they send out the Morphling Replicant, so Havors can't Blink Dagger himself in because of this, but they relocate. Hang on, whoa! They're up on the cliffside. Resolution has a small little path out to freedom, but MMY, the Snowball protected for a moment. The Sonic Wave hits hard, but you just see how farmed and tanky Team Empire are. They end up just having a 1-for-1 trade-off. Even when the Sonic Wave hits their entire lineup, Bane will come back out. He's still got the Fear Strip available. They are going to get through the Bane, but now there's your Avalanche. Resolution with a double kill. Starts the cleave swing to Siler and DDC.
Oh, this is such an awkward situation. They're going to go for the Roshan. LGD knows that it's incredibly low. They're heading towards it immediately, and this is just space creation time for DDC. They're going to pick up the Aegis, but it is going to cost them pretty heavily.
I'm wondering, though, if Team Empire really care.
They probably don't.
Because they got to have the confidence that they're going to trigger the Aegis Immortal anyway.
Yeah, the Morphling is not even close to their list of priorities right now. They can just keep down the other heroes.
The Morphling. Like, is it worthwhile putting on the Morphling as opposed to someone like the Queen of Pain?
I would have kind of liked to see it on the Queen of Pain, but the Queen of Pain doesn't have any value to her net worth, whereas the Morphling still can. Like, he's about to get a Linken's, so I can understand why they put it. Like, the Queen of Pain, she has a Yule Scepter. If she dies once, she's going to die twice. The Morphling actually has an out.
At the same time, though, Morphling, like, because he's got those outs, he can survive longer. It's like watching a hero with 3k life just, like, get an Aegis to the Immortal. But either way, I can understand the logic both ways.
Yeah, the Tiny now has a full Hyperstone. I thought he was about to buy one, but...
He might actually just buy the full AC, sitting at 2,400 gold as well after finishing the Hyperstone.
Yeah, no need for buyback or anything silly like that at this phase. It's only 19 minutes into the game.
This game is very different, though, like the third game that Alliance played today. Like, for me, this is like... Team Empire have global control. They got so much push power, and LGD are running out of options. But this game won't be like the Chinese water torture. This will be like a very clean, quick push game because you're running a Tiny. Like, you lose a fight here for LGD, you lose a building directly after.
I think they're just far enough ahead right now at this point that there's not much that they have to worry about. Like, if they lose their Tiny to a critical hero, like maybe the Morphling, there's some ways back for them into this game, but killing him is going to be such a tall task because you have to get through so many different heroes first. This is the beauty of Empire's lineup, is they have so many frontliners that they're not really worried, and they might be a little bit hesitant to go for the high ground push without the Aegis, and with the Aegis on the other side of things. But it's just going to be a quick TP back, and MMY does the correct thing. He goes to the push at top. This is the one strength of Shadow Shaman as a support. This is probably the only support that could just casually clear out a tier 1 tower for free.
I put Jakiro in the same
No, not even close.
Come on.
Can't do it fast enough. They can siege better, but
true,
it's not,
you need like 30 seconds to
it's not nearly as safe
for Jakiro.
You just have to you have to stay there and right click. Are you kidding me? It's not nearly as safe.
I believe in the power of Jackie. LGD. Okay, so you've still got the Aegis the Immortal on the Morphling. You're currently, however, got 4 heroes directly under an Observer Ward, which kind of means they don't have any surprise. Resolution runs in. The charge is on RTK. He could potentially snowball out of here. In fact, he snowballs to avoid the damage from the toss, but that's all he really avoids. Snowballs down to a low hard dance, but RTK is most definitely dead. And that's half a minute worth of time they've got.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And you've got a minute and 50 seconds for the morph, but it's not like the Aegis was meant as an offensive tool. It was more like a please don't give it, don't let the Tiny get it. But now he's got the AC. He's beating away on this tower, completely unafraid of anything. Overcharged up as well. The mech is still available. They're gonna silence him and just kind of throw some spells to slow down this momentum, but should be a mech soon on. He's actually gonna pop the urn first. Doesn't have any more bottle charges. He doesn't want to use the mana.
There's still 13 1 charges on the Tiny himself.
I mean, he's perfectly fine. There's very little that they can do to kill him.
Maybe.
Right, they're going to
try
make the attempt, though.
Jumps forward, and now the hoof stomp. Havor's caught out too. The follow-up avalanche toss will do some work. Queen of Pain, she hits the deck. We'll look for the Sonic Wave, buying a little bit of space with that blink back. But Resolution, under that speed of the Centaur, he was moving for Sylar, but the Nightmare just being switched around a lot, making it kind of impossible to do anything. Sylar actually was using his replicate to switch that Nightmare on and off. Damn, this Tiny is so big. It's got 15. Okay, I know Tinies get really big when you got someone like an Alchemist to give just give him an axe. But right now he's sitting at 15,000 net worth.
No, this is still pretty intense right now.
Actually, what is his gold per minute? 687.
Yeah, he's doing more than enough for himself right now.
They found Sylar. Where's his? I don't think he's got his replicate anymore.
He does have waveform up. He should be okay. He has the Ghost Scepter too, and I don't think they're going to extend that chase.
They're switching around the back. Maybe jumps in. The Wolf Stomp already going to start up on him. The Mass Open Wards right in the middle of the river. Maybe just wielding back at that double edge. He blinks away in time, but now they toss in No Fears. They can keep ROTK controlled. The Sonic Wave will blow out quite nicely, ensuring the kill over on Havorst. As maybe goes in again. Nightmare not able to actually deny himself, actually using it to try and control maybe instead. But Empire have just backed out of here. Spirit Breaker's hiding in the tree line, and MMY...
Looks like they're thinking about fighting right now.
Well, they came back. They relocated out, and now, with the help of Funnick, going to push back maybe, and they've got so much damage on Resolution. They're going to go through Sylar as well. He's going to Ghost it to protect himself. Waveform in 1 second time, and that means he can go further north. He's going to go down south, and then TP back out to safety. Avalanche won't be there in time. And they won't find him in time either, but they see DDC. The creep wave followed him down, now they avalanche the second he started his TP.
Sat right on top of his head too. That was so well played by Funnick. He hid in the trees right outside the ward vision, waited for the Tiny Wisp to come back. LGD thought it was only going to be 2 heroes, and then he charges in, hits like 3 heroes on the way in, kills the Shadow Shaman by himself, and then provides enough firepower to kill maybe after the fact. Great play overall by Empire. Everybody contributing so much to this team.
They've really hit their synergy. There's always one of those problems with Team Empire, like in the past, where they couldn't really find their place, but I think I mentioned this one yesterday during our cast. Like I just love the position that Funnick has managed to grab with this team. Like everything just works for it. Havorst just seems to gel so well with the rest of them. And Resolution's back to his pawnage mid that he was so well known for when he first came into the scene. Back when he was playing for IC Cup.
So they're heading down mid. LGD have to be pretty tentative. They were able to get some clutch kills. They were able to kill the Centaur, get the kill on the Queen of Pain, and now the Aether Lens is finished.
Yes, it means he can get that shackle off without being in full peril, but then again, the reach of the Tiny's a little bit too big. It's something at least. Take what you can get when you're LGD in this game. Now looking down towards that Spirit Breaker. Maybe he doesn't have the control. In fact, he's actually like all he's got is the Yule Scepter available. He's building into the Aghanim Scepter as his next major item.
I think going for the Orchid is way too late. Going for BKB pretty much signals the end of the game.
Well,
it's pretty much like a I give up.
Right?
Yeah.
So the only option is the spam.
There's a... Okay, it's going to be the Lotus Sword. That makes sense.
RTK is dead.
I believe in him.
He sigils up.
I don't believe in him.
How quickly you turn side splits. Havorst. Wait, okay, maybe. Hoof Stomp. He doesn't have his Yule Scepter because he just Yules to melee creep in the lane. Still being charged. MMY with a blink forward. Can actually let the wards go, and he actually catches No Fear out of position. The Nightmare not going to actually protect him, and Sylar's able to steal off that gem. There's a TP out from the Spirit Breaker. Funnick will be able to survive, but the top lane, like we blink and it's gone. There's no tier 3 tower, there's no melee racks anymore.
It's a worthwhile trade for a Bane. They did lose the gem, which is the big thing in that, but they've got so many different items that are assembling now. The Centaur almost has the BKB. The IO now has a fully completed Crimson Guard for his team. On top of that, the Lotus Orb is now finished onto Funnick. You look at this game, you're trying to figure out a way for LGD to come back in. They've been doing the right things. They're looking for the individual pickoffs. They're not afraid to take opportunities because they understand that they're so far ahead that if anything presents itself, you just have to go for it and hope that it's not some kind of sick mind game bait. And they've been able to pick up a gem at the same time. It's just the measure of how far they or how far behind they are is so great.
It's where Empire don't even need the vision to like take the fight. Like when they pull up, they can put down the observer ward, but doing like D-warding as a preparation.
That's a DD Tiny, but he's completely by himself.
Yep. No, he's not. There's a Wisp to tether in.
Never mind.
Resolution's got friends. That creep wave doesn't survive long.
Wants to go up and hit this tower. That's like a 4-shot tower.
Wow, did he see even losing a third of his life? They Lotus Orb onto Resolution.
Just making him the raid boss.
Well, makes it impossible for MMY to initiate. Like, even ROTK, like, what do you want to do? You want to snowball? Maybe that's actually the play. Like, you snowball onto Resolution to stop him from doing damage, just so he's in a snowball.
So good on the Tiny, though.
It is. There's no way to stop him.
30 seconds for the Aegis. LGD have to make something happen. Think about how hard it is to kill them when he tries to go up to the high ground. Imagine when he has the Aegis. And
MMY's already been charged. The Observer Ward goes down, but Resolution's moving over. They trigger the Crimson Guard. And MMY, he's got vision on the hillside, but well, the long ball, no fear, right on top of MMY.
Dunked.
That hurts.
Resolution's just going to start beating away at these racks.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Completely unafraid of anything. Without the Shaman alive, they've lost their control. He's going to just head to the mid one. LGD, you've got to make something happen right now. You can't just allow yourself to get mega creep like this. Even if it seems like an inefficient fight, I almost feel like you just have to take it.
They're trying, but DDC's already down for the count. RTK just snowballed through the fight. And Empire more than happy enough to run out here and make sure he dies. Maybe it's a big sonic wave. Silas here as well, but you realize as you throw that out, you just cannot do anywhere near enough damage to ensure you a victory over Team Empire. So Team Empire will take game 1 against LGD in this best of 3 in a 3-2-1-1 scoreline. That is just so convincing. But LGD, they willingly gave them the Wisp Tiny in the first phase.
You are not going to see that again this series.
The Wisp has to be banned out.
They had more than a kill a minute. There's no way that you're going to allow